Hello and namaste. This is Tim Halloran. I'm an astrologer here in the wonderful and wet world of Savannah, Georgia. This is a weekly astrological report, and this is for the Fall Equinox 2014. It is a critical time, so critical that this dedicated astrologer journeyed out into the Savannah storm in order to record it to you. I mean, there is a lot going on right now. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to process. I've been trying to get out and do this report since 10 a.m. and just thing after thing after thing is coming up. So many feels, so many emotions, so much to do, so much to process. And so when I finally find myself walking over here, of course it starts to downpour. But you know, I've carved out a little location here and laid some leaves over the camera, so hopefully it won't get too wet. So we can talk about what's going on, because there's a lot happening right now. And what's going on really is we have this fall equinox happening today as the old Virgo moon conjuncts Venus and Pluto turns direct today. So we have a number of things going on. The fall equinox is when the sun shifts from Virgo into Libra, all right? So there is this transition that's happening right now from grounded, perfectionist Virgo, who's been doing a lot of cleaning house, a lot of sweeping up, a lot of polishing everything, making sure everything's nice and neat. It's been a little bit more slow paced. It's been a lot more introverted. We've been doing a lot of internal cleaning, cleaning the karma, getting a deeper look at the story, looking at the childhood wounds. And now there's this shift that's going on from earth to air, and stuff starting to pick up, speed up, get a little bit more stressful, a little bit more fast paced. And it can feel like we're overstimulated, especially now in these next few days with the moon finishing its cycle in Virgo. It's not till Wednesday that we have the moon moving into Libra, followed by this new moon in Libra. So up until then, what we're doing is we're kind of finishing up this cleanup process. It's like the last minute on the clock to get our finishing done before we start breathing in the next wave and starting new. So that's a nice thing too, is that we're starting with a clean slate this week. We're getting a fresh start. We're wrapping up some loose ends, hopefully. And what this is too is, you know, the Virgo moon is hypersensitive. And this Virgo moon is conjunct Venus today. I mean, we can be sensitive to criticism from other people. We can have other people sort of poking us, causing us to go back into this entire previous month and look at the wounds and look at the internal digging, the internal cleaning house that we've been doing. I mean, we've been doing some serious work this last month, and now is this time where things start shifting, and what happens is it summarizes everything we've done. We can do a review, we can look back at all of these things that we've already kind of looked at, and it can feel a little discouraging because it can sometimes feel like we're taking a step back. This is not actually what we're doing. We're finalizing and reviewing this so we can actually bring in the new. And this next month is going to be a serious time of bringing in the new. I mean, this is profound energy that's coming in. It is intense, but it is intense in a very good way. I mean, this is like intelligence, higher understanding, wisdom, brilliance coming down into the collective right now. And for those of us who are sensitive, we might be getting the first couple breaths of this, okay? This whole last month has been real intense, digging deep, getting into the personal story, looking at our own problems, our own insufficiencies, our own imperfections, getting Virgo with it, getting involved into the purification process and cleaning ourselves. And it has been hard work. It's been hard work, okay? And we could feel exhausted now with this Virgo moon. The old Virgo moon has been doing this whole month of digging deep, okay? But if we're tuned into the energy that's coming in now, and it's subtle at first, it comes in from a very deep, kind of far out place, this new energy, we can get a couple breaths of that. There is new understanding that's coming in, profound realization that is changing everything. It's changing our outlook, it's changing our reality, it's changing our life from this point on. And dependent on how much we really dug deep and cleaned house is going to reflect how much we transform and really breathe in some new, profoundly amazing, brilliant things in this next month, okay? For those of us who aren't really tasting that yet, don't worry, you're gonna get another opportunity. Because next weekend, Mercury turns retrograde, is gonna get back all the way up to the North Node in Libra. So this Mercury is gonna do this whole month-long review. And being conjunct the North Node is going to make sure that we're looking into the past, making sure we're tying up these loose ends, making sure that the story is crystal clear and we're getting these realizations and we're moving on to something new and different. I mean, this kind of transformation has to happen for us right now. There really aren't that many choices. The last month's difficulty has forced many people either in or out of ruts, really forced us to look at stuff, forced us to be cornered with all this sort of messiness that we have to clean up, and then we've been cleaning up. Okay, so this transformation is not really an option, it's happening. The collective is going to be getting new information. There's going to be, new technology. We're going to be forming new communications, new communities, these types of things. Okay, and this is all initiating with the new moon on Wednesday. All right, and I'm going to try to read to you, oh man, the Sabian symbol, what this new moon is. Okay, here it goes. The transformation of the fruits of past experiences into the seed realization of the forever creative spirit. Whew. Listen to this again. This is what's going on now. This is this profoundly intense shifting that we're kind of caught in the middle of right now. Why is it so intense? Why does it not feel comfortable? Because the transformation of the fruits of past experiences are turning into the seed realizations of the forever creative spirit. The past is cleaning house. The past is having realizations made. How we thought things were different, and it's going to change how things are going to be in the future. And what is it causing us? Creative spirit. We're moving into a period now where it's going to be very extroverted. We're going to be talking, we're going to be communing, we're going to be forming communities, we're going to be meeting new people. All right? Wednesday is the new moon. This is a very opportune time to be setting intention. Today is the fall equinox. Very opportune time to be setting good intentions. What's going on during the fall equinox is we look at these cardinal points. We look at the summer solstice. We look at the spring equinox. We look at the previous winter solstice. Because this fall equinox is about the harvest. It's about measuring what we have, what we don't, what progress we have made, what progress we have yet to make. We look at the last winter, we might say, oh my goodness, that last winter was rough. Winter solstice, Capricorn time was rough. We were dealing with money wounds. We were dealing with insufficiency, insecurity, okay? I don't want this to happen again the next winter. We measure out what we've got, we collect our harvest, we see what we have going for us and what we don't. And it can be a little intense too because we see all our lightness and all our darkness. We see where we have yet to go. We see all that stuff, the sort of loose ends there, okay? And this is really not a time to be sort of caught in the good or bad concept of things. I mean, the negative stuff that is there, you know, the insufficiency, the insecurity, I don't know if I'm going to last the winter, I don't know if I have enough stuff. We're going through this now, that way we can change things in the next couple months before it's actually in the middle of winter. We can become creative now. We can become original and brilliant and unique. And that's the energy that's coming in this next month, and that's what we can really channel. Really think of new solutions to solve the problems that have not yet been solved, especially this last year. I mean, the last winter was intense. This year is a very transformational year in general. We're doing things differently this year. We're not supposed to do winter the way we did winter last year. We're supposed to have a different understanding of abundance, of the mother is really what we're going to be talking about. This next month has a lot to do, this download has a lot to do with we're having more understanding of the mother. Okay? When we start taking care of each other as a collective, as a group, as a family, that is feminine wisdom. Okay? When we're trying to create abundance for the whole world with food, water, and even if we're doing it with new forms of technology, even if we find a way for free energy and all these sort of things, this is still information that's coming in that is allowing the feminine spirit to be anchored in and then grow and be rebalanced, okay? There's this theme of balance that's going to be taking us through these next few weeks in Libra time where we're really seeing, you know, we're weighing ourself versus other people. We're seeing the past, we're seeing the future, and we're combining them two. We're seeing them how to synthesize these things into a new future, all right? The future stems directly out of the past. That's what this Mercury retrograde is really saying. Mercury is going to turn retrograde this next Saturday and then back all the way up to the North Node. That means you have to look into the past in order to gain the realization that is going to change the future, okay? That's why we've been doing all this digging the past month, getting into the wounds, getting into the childhood, the stuff that's really held us down in the past, is because we're making new realizations up here. I mean, the North Node conjunct Pallas Athena is really brilliant. This is new technology, new forms of communication. It's even just new ways of understanding who I am. It's higher intelligence. Who am I as a human being? What is this process that I've been going through? How did I see this process that I have been going through in a sort of conskewed way that caused me to be stagnant, to be stuck, to be negative, to keep going back into ruts? It could have been my own misunderstanding of my own being, of my own higher nature, of the cycles of things that has kept me from being and doing what I actually want to do. So during this whole period where we're feeling intense, there's cycles upon cycles of transformation that's happening. We're moving from earth to air and everything's getting real crazy and fast-paced and intellectual, and it can feel like we're coming up on some weird synthetic chemical that the doctor gives you when you break your arm or something like that. You know, this is a period where things feel weird, but it's actually really good stuff that's coming in right now. So don't get too shaken up by it. Don't get too overwhelmed these few days when we're dealing with the Virgo stuff and we're feeling sensitive and we're cleaning out the last of it, we're purging out the last of it. Look at those fears one last time. Look at those insecurities one last time. And rather than run away from it, just breathe it in one last time. And then on the new moon, this Wednesday, set your intention with that insecurity, that negativity, that insufficiency, already very much in your awareness. You've been there, you've dealt with it, you understand it, you don't like it, okay, but you know it and you're close to it. That way we can form this kind of breakthrough, this realization. And what's going to happen is we're meeting new people, we're forming new ways to communicate, we're forming new groups, and these groups are going to form creative solutions that are going to change the past, all right? It's not even the past that's changing, it's our understanding of the past that changes everything. And then we have a totally new future. We have endless possibilities, okay? Because it ends up being a trick on us. We thought all this stuff was super despairing and horrible and sorrowful just because that's how life is. It's just terrible and you just get beat down and that's just how it is. You gotta bite the bullet. Alright, this is this fall equinox. We gotta just get ready for winter time. Winter is coming, you know, that phrase. It makes sense here. And what are we doing? It's not about getting dragged down with those things. Now we're seeing, okay, this is what this is connected to. This is what this is leading me to. This is the solution that is being brought out of this situation. And because I did the past, because I already had to bite the bullet, I already went through the hard stuff, I already did the past, I don't have to do it again. You don't just have to bite the bullet. You don't just have to, well, winter is coming, blah, blah, blah. Make sure you do exactly the way you've always done it, because that's how you prepare for winter. No, we're doing it different. There's brilliant, revolutionary, higher intelligence streaming into the collective consciousness during this time. We are going to see some amazing things these next few months, and if we get really in touch with ourselves and allow ourselves to change, allow ourselves to be inspired, allow ourselves to be touched, motivated, influence others, be influenced by others, inspire one another, this is an incredibly synergistic and potentially revolutionary time where we're getting new methods, new technology. I mean, this is a time to be doing it differently, all right? So look into the past. Don't be afraid that you're actually going back. You're not actually going back. You're looking at the past to get a new way to move into the future, okay? So let's shake it off. Do your special, fall equinox spells. This is a day where it's perfect day, perfect night. We're right in the middle. This is a great time to set intentions for how you want it to be done differently from this point on. So that way this isn't just a cycle. It's a spiral all right? And we can really get into the jig, into the dance of things, and not feel like it's some horrible dead mechanism, that it's actually full of life, it's soft, the mother's there, she's comforting us, there's abundance there, we can share all of our talents, we can share all of our art, we can trust the universe, and we won't have to feel that we're abandoned, we're alone, we're mechanical, we're empty any longer. So in that spirit, let's be full of life, let's welcome the fall time, let's do our intentions, and let's get on with it. I look forward to forming new communities with you. There's a lot of stuff we're doing here in Rasa Lila Healing, so let me do a quick PR. We have a giveaway going on right now. You can check out our Facebook page. We're giving away a free birth chart reading. We're giving away a special gift box with some crystals and moldavite oil and all that fun stuff is. I'm doing a new video series where I'm taking suggestions and questions and topics from you. You can click the link below in order to suggest a topic to me. It's not going to be related to astrology. It's going to be new stuff. We're going to be covering more ground related to spirituality. So we are hoping to continue to expand the Rasa Lila community. It's a great month to be forming personal connections with you, for us to be bouncing ideas off of one another. So let yourself be heard. I would love to hear from you, and you'll be hearing from me next week. All the best to you and your beloveds. Namaste.